Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Ledwell and this is The Inspiration Show. Now, today on the show, my special guest is Dr. Toni Rivera. Hello Toni, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Nice to be here.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Now, so Toni is the author of a new book called The Propelled Heart, moving from injury to insight. That from injury to insight is quite the journey, and I know that has been your story, which I think a lot of, quite a few of our viewers will be able to relate to. So why don't we start with your story first, and we can get into some of the insights that you actually have in the book.
Well, I actually discovered that I had been the victim of childhood sexual abuse quite by happenstance. I was a successful chiropractor in Puerto Rico in a remote area, seeing many, many people a day. And I started to notice that their mental, emotional events in their life would create physical problems. So I started studying to be able to address the mental, emotional issues along with the physical. And part of the training was to receive the treatment myself, the experience of the Rubenfeld Synergy method. And lo and behold, my body had some things to tell me that had been hidden from me. But I soon discovered that the things that had happened in my childhood were what actually drove me to become a workaholic and actually ignore myself and do everything for others, no boundaries. So in that discovery was the beginning of a wonderful journey to my own insight. And so hence eventually being able to write the book.
Yeah. So I know, for your childhood experience was, was sexual abuse, and obviously you'd block that out because it only just started to surface in your 30s, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. It's often, I find that happens with many people, with my clients, and then in discussing with other people who work with others, that oftentimes in the 30s and 40s, when the person has developed the resources sufficient to actually heal these deeper wounds, that's when they start to percolate to the surface and demand attention.
Right. Because that's the thing I find, and the more women I talk to, the more it seems like we're all on a similar journey. We're all in our, well, the women I talk to are more in their 40s, going into 50s or whatever, but it's like there's this awakening happening.
Yes.
And all of a sudden we're looking at our situation around us, whether it's our relationship, or our kids are leaving, or we're looking at our career going, this is not satisfying me anymore, and I know that there's something different. I think I find this is where, and this I'm asking you this question, is this where most women find that if there is something that's been sabotaging their success or sabotaging who they can be, this is when it starts to come out?
Yes, exactly. As we are mature in our life, and actually I think in the beginning, in the 20s and 30s, when we're starting to build, in that beginning part of our lives, we're focused so much on the outside. And then as we mature and begin to learn the value of really listening to ourselves, our life, and that's what I write about in the book, really learning how to listen to your body's wisdom and the wisdom of life itself, in the recurring situation and events in our life that are trying to teach us and help us grow.
Yeah. So how is this manifesting in your body? How is it showing up for you?
Well, presently in my life is so much different now. I'm on my own radar. At that time, when I started my practice when I was 26, and those first 10 years, oh my goodness, I saw 70 people a day in my practice, and sometimes I didn't eat, drink, or go to the bathroom all day long. And now when someone calls, even an emergency, I really look and consider how it will affect me and my own life. And I make time in my life for my animals and my friends, and it's a much different life than just working only to serve and squeeze the life out of myself. Now I'm living life, so my body is healthier, my mind and emotions are healthier, and it's a much more fruitful life.
Yeah. Yeah, because the giving and giving, that kind of a behavior is more like a coping mechanism for a lot of women.
Exactly.
And of course, we do that at the expense of our own health or our own well-being. So what are some of the other ways that programs or experiences from our childhood can actually show up as illness in the body or as a certain condition.
It is so true. There are different ways. Everybody's so unique in the ways that our illness, if you will, it manifests. Many times there'll be a physical manifestation. It could be a habitual emotional recurrence. And sometimes it's that the situations, we keep meeting the same man or the same woman. We keep having the same boss. And these things are really, it's a tap on the shoulder that there's something we're not resolving or that we need to still be confronted with to heal it. And so in all of these ways, body, mind, emotions, spirit, life events will be telling us, hello, we're here, you need to pay attention, just don't keep on the hamster wheel.
So is that what the book's about? It's helping us evaluate what's showing up in our life and what's showing up in our bodies?
Exactly. The book is called The Propelled Heart, Moving from Injury to Insight, as you mentioned. And the first part is a brief memoir of my own. At first I wasn't going to include that, but it really wanted to be told, and I feel to be an inspiration to others that no matter what the wound, you can find the insights and the learnings and bring them back as gifts to the world. The second half of the book is more of a self-help guide. So we discuss a topic, and then there's an exercise, not a bicep exercise, but a body-mind activity, so that the people can actually begin to look inside themselves and see how they might listen and learn to listen to the how-to. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's important to listen to your body, but how do you do that, in our society? So I have how-to steps of how to listen to your body, listen to your emotions, listen to your life, listen to your inner child. There's 17 exercises in the book for people to start to work with themselves.
Yes. I know. Well, I was very grateful that you were able to send me a copy, and it's something which is very interesting because the first 4.5 weeks of this year, I was sick as a dog. I had that flu or whatever that was going around, and I could not get rid of it, and I never get sick. And it's been coming back and forth, over the last couple of weeks. And I've been working with a friend of mine, and she said, have you checked in with your body to see, whether you can take on this workload? And I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I take it in my body? It's just the meat that carries around my heart, my brain, and my soul, but that's what we do. We tend to neglect ourselves a lot, right, don't we?
It's so true, and what you said is just it. I mean, that's so, in our society especially, we're so driven to achieve the goals that we've set for ourselves, and our mind is constantly saying, well, can I do this, can I do that? And tuning into the heart, should I? That intelligence of our inner self. And I really feel that the body, that wisdom within us, we have all the resources we need to heal, and we also have a wisdom that's an internal reference. Instead of someone else telling you what's wrong or what's wrong with your life, that's right there within us, and we can tap into it, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think tapping into our intuition, especially, if you can relate to anything that we've said so far in this interview, then I encourage you to get Toni's book. But how do we tap into our intuition? Is it only one way that we can do it, or is there multiple ways that we can do that?
There's so many ways, and this is why I developed my workshop series, Intuition Mastery. I so appreciate your asking, because each person is unique, and that's the first thing that we do in the Intuition Mastery workshop is discover your unique intuitive signature, because we each have our own way of receiving information. Some people are more visual, some people it's heart or the gut, some people it's words. So we really, what I do is I have exercises I've developed that each person can discover how their intuition is speaking to them. And I feel that the intuition is the bridge between the all-knowing soul and the ego. And so there's constant communication. However, we do need to know how to tune the station in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think too, even if we have those ones where we ask the question and we're looking for guidance, we have to sit still and be quiet long enough to be able to hear the answer.
It's so true. So many times I find that people say, well, I am meditating or I am listening, but it's so much out. You know, they're asking. Well, you need to be quiet long enough and develop that calmness that you can receive the answer that you're asking.
Absolutely, because we're doing all the time. It's like we've got all this activity, and meditation for some of us, like, yeah, I'm going to jam in like 20 minutes of meditation, and it's like another task rather than getting into the energy and sitting down and being still and opening ourselves up. Yeah.
Exactly. I always say with people, you know, just even start with a couple of minutes and you'll like it so much it will naturally stretch.
Yeah, totally. So tell me, go through a couple of the exercises that you have in the book that if someone was watching the interview right now, that they could apply and be able to use straight away.
Well, that's a great question. I started the book. The first exercise is about breathing and learning to listen to your breath and discovering where your breath is in your body. And that's very simple. You can do sitting right where you are. Just close your eyes, and I have the people breathe into 3 areas: the belly, the chest, and then the upper chest. And just in noticing where it's easier to breathe and putting your hands on the easy place and breathing into that, and just let everything go and feel your hands going up and down. And that really helps with everything. And then the next one is about listening to your body's wisdom, and then the emotions. And like I say, what I've decided to do, because some people, it's hard to read the exercise and do it. So I do have brief diamond point directions in the book, but I've also decided to put MP3 downloads on my website for free. So I'm in the process of adding all the exercises onto my website that people can go to and have as a gift from me to them. Wonderful. So it's quite an array. As I say, there's 17 different exercises.
So with these exercises, I'm assuming that you've been working with people for them to apply this. Can you share a story of someone that you've worked with that have had like an incredible breakthrough?
Well, gee, just the other day I had a free online webinar, and also on my website that information is there. And this woman was complaining of a pain in her thumb joints, which can be very difficult, to remedy. And so I led her through an exercise of first having her describe the physical pain. And this is the second exercise. Describe in words, not just it hurts, but does it pinch? Does it pulse? Is it pressure? Describing exactly the physical sensation. And then when she was doing that, I then have the person recognize that area. For example, I know you're hurting right now. You're pinching, and there's a red color, and I feel sadness. And when you acknowledge the place, many times a breakthrough will happen. What happened for this woman the other day was she realized that it was from a past marriage where she had decided to change and not follow her creative impulse, but to do what the husband wanted her to do, and which was not be creative. And then the words came to her mind, I gave up. So I had her start to repeat those words, I know you gave up, I know you gave up. And repeating those words, she had a deep sadness come up, and some tears came, and I asked her where sadness was in her body. It was in her solar plexus. So I had her put her hands there and breathe into there. And the tears only lasted a short period of time because she allowed it to emerge. She fully embraced it and listened to it. And I had her say, I know you're sad because I gave up. I know you're sad because I gave up. And the tears came up and then passed, and she laughed and she said, I realize what I need to do now is the opposite of that. I need to express myself. It's my time now. And that insight, if you will, that which I like to use, because when we listen to the body, we actually go into like an alpha brainwave state, which is a daydreamy kind of state. Mm-hmm. And these insights bubble to the top because we're in the moment paying attention, listening to those messages and acknowledging them fully, and then something else can shift. And so when she had that insight, now's my time to be creative, I asked her, how are your thumbs feeling? And she was shocked. Oh my God, I have no pain in my thumbs for the first time in 15 years. Yeah. Now, so this is an incredible insight that she was actually free. So walking through those steps let her see, oh my goodness, I had given up, and now I can pick it back up and do and express as I desire at this time. And it seems some people might say, oh, it's obvious to the intellectual mind maybe, but when you go inside the body's experience, that's what the key is to make the difference, to allow the heart to fully express itself and be free from those past experiences. So simple, but very profound.
You know, and that's what I love about this book, because the exercises are simple. And the thing is, if you're watching this interview and you're feeling numb, you're feeling checked out, you're feeling like there is meant to be something more, but you're not quite sure what it is, if you feel like you want to do more, but you don't know what direction to go in, this is a book for you. This is an amazing book for you. So I really highly recommend that you get your hands on that. So, Toni, where can we send them to get their hands on the book and to work with you and to connect with you?
Yes. Well, the book, The Propelled Heart, is on Amazon.com as a Kindle book or a paperback. And my website is ToniLuisaRivera.com. So that's ToniLuisaRivera.com, and I'm also on Twitter and Facebook at the same. And on the website, if you go and sign up for the newsletter, you'll receive the first 2 exercises right away, and then as the others are uploaded, you'll be receiving those in an email link. And I have workshops in Santa Fe right now, and looking to move out, and that intuition mastery, so you can develop your own intuitive capabilities.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Toni. It's such a pleasure talking to you, and congratulations on the book and your work.
Thank you.
Now, guys,
thank you so much. Thanks.
Welcome. Now, guys, I encourage you to share this video. You can do that by clicking the Facebook and the Twitter share buttons on this page. Leave your email in the box if you haven't done so already to get the Manifesting with the Masters video e-course. And make sure that you click on the banner on this page to go through to Toni's website so you can connect with her. So until next time, remember to live large, choose courageously, and love without limits. We'll see you soon.
Bye.